All right, hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo. Thank you for tuning in. We got another episode, another Facebook Live. And I told you guys that Facebook is just acting really weird when it comes to doing Facebook Live. So if you're looking at this and you're seeing like that it looks a little different, this is kind of like the workaround, right? Like in Nifty Thrifty, we're always trying to figure out a way to think outside the box to save money, to have the bunch of different workarounds. Well, in the spirit of trying to figure out different ways to save money and different workarounds, I have someone here who knows that really well. It's Sean
Yep.
Birney from
How you
Masterlink,
doing, guys?
the
How's it
guy
going?
behind Apex Sensors.
Yes.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, not much, man. So just living the dream. So
Hey, I love that. Now, people are probably wondering, like, the someone who understands workarounds. No, I said workarounds, guys, not reach arounds. Okay, get your mind out of the gutter
Yep.
right now. I said
Yep.
workaround. Now, why is that? Again, they're probably wondering, okay, workaround, Apex Sensors, what does that mean exactly? Well, what it means is that there's a few big companies that that are kind of like supported by the big distributors, and they cost a lot of money, right? And they always like to make it hard for other sensors to get in there and to play nice and to help us save money. Well, I want to point that out because, again, there's so many different sensor companies out there, but the Apex Sensors, you guys over at Masterlink have figured out a way to help us save money by making sure our sensors work with all the different imaging platforms. Sean, talk about those platforms and talk about why it's important that a sensor be able to work with all these different platforms.
Yeah. So I mean, with the Apex sensors, big thing that we kind of push is our sensors work with pretty much every major dental imaging software out there, from Dexis to Eaglesoft, VixWin, to a lot of the cloud-based systems there. That's what maybe kind of sets us apart. We have our own system that we have imaging software with, but like I said, I'd say a lot of our majority of our business is selling our sensors to work inside of other imaging systems. So nothing that we haven't done. We do it every day. So if you're looking for a sensor that's integrating into Dexis, done it 1,000 times, Eaglesoft 1,000 times. So that's the big thing that maybe separates us here, is that one, our sensors are able to be supported in a lot of the major imaging systems out there. We have local in support here in the U.S. Here, so you get quick response times here on your support. And a big thing, our products are about half the cost of like a Dexis sensor and Schick sensor, which are the major our competitors out there. And the reason we're able to offer that is we do everything remote over the phone. We cut a lot of the fat out, a lot of the middlemen, all those reps coming to your office on a day-to-day basis. At the end of the day, they're just trying to sell you something here, and then that's just cost money for them driving around from office to office here. We don't deal with distributors, so we cut out the middlemen there. We just deal direct with the offices, and then because of all of that and how we've structured our company here, is we're able to offer sensors for about half the cost of what the major competitors are selling them for.
So I think something that's really important to point out, and again, look, I always like to address like scare tactics, right? At the end of the day, look, the reps, these big companies, they need to make money, right? They need to figure out a way to do things, and their bosses are giving them they can only discount so much. So a lot of times these reps kind of like resort to, I like to call it like scare tactics to
Yep.
scare people into thinking like, okay, I'm just going to get ripped off here. I need to go with this rep here because he's showing up and whatnot. And one of the biggest scare tactics is, well, you're not going to get the support that you would get from us. Mm-hmm. For doctors who are concerned that you guys are, you don't have reps that are knocking on everyone's door, right? You don't have like this big team or this huge facility. Reasons why you gave that you can also give a better price, right? Like you guys don't have that overhead. But sometimes these reps will use this myth that you guys cannot support the right way. What do you say to the doctors who say, hey, my rep said that when I need support, you guys are not going to be around. What do you say to those
Yeah.
doctors who have
I
that
mean,
concern?
I guess it's just not true. I mean, we support your single practice office to multi-hundred location DSOs. So, I mean, it's nothing. So whether you're small office or large here, we have the capacity to handle all of that. Most of our support calls and stuff are handled typically within 24 hours. So we're able to get to you relatively quickly. I know some offices maybe have they'll use a scare tactic. Oh, they're a smaller company here. And my, I guess, response to that here is that you see a lot of buyouts happen here with the bigger companies
Mhm.
where, and that product that was so safe with dealing with the bigger company is now getting discontinued because they got bought out by someone else, or it was just a bigger company that just went under. And that happens too here. Masterlink, we've been around for getting close to 40 years here at this point.
Wow.
So been in not going anywhere here. So we've been with the Apex sensors been around for a little over 10 years now here doing this. So I mean we're not going anywhere either here. So but we're small family business here, but we're able to support, like I said, the other small practice here all the way up to the big ones here. We got the teams to support it. And big thing is that our support teams are local here in the U.S. So it's very easy to talk to our team. There's not a lot of language barriers that can sometimes happen with some of the big companies. Is that they try to cut their costs there in those ways here, and then you just maybe get frustrated on the back end when you're trying to get that support from the big company there. Whereas that isn't typically an issue here with us here. So
Well, one of the things that I also want to point out, so thank you so much for talking about the support issue, because that's a scare tactic, right? Like
mhm.
they say, oh, well, you're not going to get the support. They're a small company, or they're going to sell you a sensor that's really affordable. Then they're just going to cut and disappear, right? No, of course, you guys have been around a while. I mean, you depend on like a good reputation and also the being able to come through when it comes to support. The follow-up question is, again, something on the same lines that what you just said right there. Obviously, you guys are here in the state, just support teams here in the state. But Nifty Thrifty, this is a big group, right?
Yeah,
Just for those who have worked with Sean in the past, you guys probably know that at one time he lived in Arizona, but now he's
yeah,
over at North Carolina, right? Really,
yeah,
really enjoying himself over there and not getting
yeah,
torched like he was in
yeah.
Arizona when it comes to
No,
summer heat. But
a 30-degree difference.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, of course, I bring that up because naturally people are going to say, well, I mean, okay, he was in Arizona, now he's in North Carolina. I'm over here in California. There's a big,
Yeah.
if I need some support, is he going to be asleep over there, or his team are going to be asleep over there because they're on the East Coast now? What do you say to the people who are on different sides of the coast and they're concerned about the differences in time and also getting support in a timely manner?
So, I mean, our a lot of our major support team is actually still in Arizona time. So Arizona's on its own time zone here, so we don't roll our clocks back ever
Yeah,
or forward there. So it's at least consistent as far as that goes. And we decided to still keep that because it seems to be the most accommodating time zone
sure.
there, because we're kind of in the middle that we can handle both East Coast and West Coast stuff. So we're all of our time zone is based on Arizona Mountain Standard Time, which is very accommodating for the work hour for both East Coast and West Coast there.
So again, that's really good to know. And look, guys, at the end of the day, they'll let you know when those hours are. Accommodates everybody. I mean, again, yeah, that's true. Arizona, there's been a couple of
Yeah,
times where I went over there and I thought, okay, it's not, why is it on Pacific time now? Like I'm totally
yeah,
confused, But
yeah.
yeah, they don't must. Maybe we should adopt that across the country. I don't know. We'll
I think
see.
it should be. We should just stop rolling our clocks back and we just stay on our whatever that time
I mean, if
difference
it
is.
gets darker sooner, so be it. Like, come on,
Yeah,
just go to bed earlier. So,
yeah.
Sean, again, you talked about like the track record with the company. I also want to highlight another thing too. Is again, you guys are a family business. Family business, like, yeah, your dad's still around. I mean,
Yep.
you're helping out. But why is that so important when it comes to the customer service, that you guys are still a family business and you're not part of like a huge corporate conglomerate and you're just there as a figurehead?
I think that maybe gives us maybe a little bit of an advantage here because, like I said, since we are smaller, we got to do better. But like we have to do better in every sort of facet here. So you're gonna just get all around better service, sales support, all the way through here because we have to be in order to compete with the big guys out there. But we got to be able to stand apart from that, and I think that's going to be the big thing that does separate us from a lot of our major competitors. Is because we are small, it gives us that better. We can do better support for our customers. We're easy to communicate with. We got fast responses here, and I think that's just maybe what separates us from the major competitors. So I think doing that, you're also supporting families here, and we're not just these entity that robot you're just giving money to, and we're just trying to pump the stock price up here. So.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. And also, just to let everyone know, Sean is actually in this group. So whenever I tag Sean on a post or you reach out to him, you're not just talking to just some mid-level guy. You're not even talking to some entry-level guy. It's a family business. I mean, that Birney last name. Yeah, you're literally talking to someone who's a decision maker, but also sits. I don't know how often you sit down with your dad and have dinner, but possibly someone who talks to the one of the main owners on a daily basis, right? So that's something to be said with that, as opposed to whenever you guys reach out and they're like, okay, we need some help here. I try to get like the leadership of companies in this group so that you can get like a quick answer, as opposed to let me talk to this guy, and but by the time your question or your comments reach the top, it's already like took on a life of its own. It doesn't mean anything, the same thing anymore. So it's super important about that. But Sean, why is it important for you to be so hands-on and so responsive to people in the community?
I think it just allows us to be more reactive on things. If we're starting to see something that maybe isn't good or is good, we can pivot on that here. There's not a lot of, I've worked with a lot of big companies here in the past. It takes a long time to move a big ship. So being a smaller ship, we can pivot on something. If something isn't working right or something is working right, we can move forward into that direction to correct whatever needs to be corrected. A lot of times, like we can have that again corrected within the day. Whereas, oh no, I need to send this to my engineer, my development team, and oh, this is going to go out in the next software package. Well, when's that's getting released? So Q5 of next year, or I mean Q4 of next year. So we're able to move quicker because of that. And like I said, I am part of that group. I'm always checking it on a daily there. So if I do get tagged in something there, like I said, it might be at 8 o'clock at night. I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV or something here, but that comes in and you're talking to me. You're not getting just some random assistant here. So when I'm making posts, that's me. You're getting pretty much the top here. So.
Yeah, and I think that's super important, especially with Sean. You know how we docs are. Sometimes we have questions and we're always asking questions. I want to let everyone know that he's probably heard every single type of question out there. But again, I've used their sensors, and so many people in this group have used their sensors. So again, they wouldn't be around if they didn't care. Now, with that being said, hey, when it comes to deals and working out things, look, we have deals and whatnot. But I will tell you guys this. If you want, and Sean has told me this before, if you want something special deal, maybe you have a group of practices or whatnot, message Sean. He's always game, right, Sean? You're always game to figure something out, right?
Yep. So as long as it's beneficial for both parties, like I said, we don't have the red tape to go through, so we have the autonomy to make those decisions on a case-by-case basis.
Sean doesn't have to go like, let me talk to 5 other people. I mean, he probably just needs to talk to one person, if any. If anybody, I mean, he can just work out the deal there. So speaking of deal, Sean, what is the current deal for the Nifty group?
Yeah, so I mean, currently right now we're running a 4th of July promotion here that's going on here till the July 5th, I believe, is when this ends. But Right now, the sensors are on sale. So normally a size number 1 sensor typically retails for $4,995. Currently on sale for $3,495. The size number 2 sensors normally retail for $5,495 and are currently on sale for $3,995.
Nice.
Now, as part of this, as being Nifty members, we got to go a step further, right? So we're going to give all Nifty members free shipping on this, as well as an additional 5% off of those prices that I just quoted there as well. So you're going to, just by being part of this group, you're always going to save more.
I love it. I love
it.
it.
Get an additional 5% off, and we'll put the coupon code in this post here, or the comment down below, so you have it, and the link on where to move forward with this here. So
okay, so that's a super deal, but for those who, and I think a lot of times startups, they don't really know like how much everything costs. The people who have had practice for a while, we know the dental tax when it comes to sensors. But Sean, I mean, without naming any competitors, can you just throw out some prices for some of the bigger name brands? How much are their sensors typically cost? Because we want to remind people how big that dental tax is.
Yep, absolutely. So we get quotes all the time there from our major competitors here. I won't name any names there, Dexis, but usually around $10,000 to $12,000 is typically the range on just one sensor from them. And a lot of times with that particular company, they'll give you a 1-year warranty. We give you a 2-year manufacturer's warranty here. So, and then we have extended protection plans here as well to help protect your sensor in the event of physical damage, where you break it or crush it into a million different pieces. Instead of paying retail, you could get a discounted replacement if you're enrolled into one of those plans. We even have a plan, if you do break it, crush it, we'll replace it unconditionally once per plan for free. It just depends on the plan that you have. So that's presented to you at the time of purchase if you want to enroll into one of the protection plans, and we'll go over all that. And if you have any questions on it, you can certainly give our office a call. Our team would love to answer and kind of go over what the difference is.
DM Sean if you want.
Yep, yep, absolutely. So, but yep, absolutely.
Sean, I mean, would it be safe to say, Sean, that for the price of one of these bigger branded sensors, you probably could get 2 of your sensors? Is it pretty safe to say that?
Well, that's why we're about half the cost. So,
so again, guys, I mean, you can get one of theirs, right? But you know, I know a lot of times startup offices, they're like, okay, I can only get one sensor and I can only buy this. But guys, you do know that even though you're a startup, right? And you have like, maybe you started with 3 ops. Generally, startups will start like with 2 to 3 ops. You know, you have 1 op that's overflow. And then you're like, you really want to push and you really want to do well and get more money and buy more sensors, right? But wouldn't it make sense if you actually bought a sensor that is more affordable, like Apex, and instead of getting 1, you have 2, so when that extra patient comes in, you don't have to stop, right? And again, think about it, time is money.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's usually, I recommend every office, whether big or small here, have at least 2 sensors, ideally usually a size 1 and a size 2, so you can accommodate the different size mouths that may kind of walk in the office. There's a lot of times that you may want to use a pedo sensor on an adult there, because maybe just they have a lot of tori or they're a gagger. And then the other thing is, like, you got a backup there as well. And like I said, at that price point, you can do that with ours, but you probably were maybe stretching yourself if you tried to do that with another sensor brand here.
And, you know, again, we talked about, Sean brought up the fact that there's different protection plans and whatnot. And yes, I used those protection plans in the past with him? Yes, I have. Because again, we just had a post about, you know, what's going to happen, what's going to break today. Do you ever feel like something's going to break today? And look, I mean, if you're seeing a lot of patients, accidents do happen. But here's the thing. If you were going with a bigger brand, number one, you were paying more. And if you have to get it repaired, I mean, I've heard like sometimes their repair, it costs as much as one of their Apex sensors. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So again, here's the thing. You know, you can get an extra sensor if you go with Apex. And in fact, you probably could still do the the protection plan and still come out on top, and you're protected there. And again, if you're protected, Sean's going to make sure he's going to hook you up with a sensor there. He's not going to leave you out high and dry. But don't take my word for it. DM the man himself.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, before we log off here, and again, I appreciate you've been probably one of the OGs, man. Literally, you're one of the OGs. Been taking care of us.
I think like 5,000 members or something.
Way back then, but here you are. Here I am. I'm still here, and he's still here.
Got a few more gray hairs
still
a little bit, but
hey man, not as great as some other people that have been on the show, so that I'll give that there. But again, I've known Sean for a while since his days starting out, and now he's a part-time farmer. I'll let you, for those of you DMing him, you're wondering what does he mean by part-time farmer? You have to ask him yourself. So part-time farmer, but full-time support resource for the Nifty community, with the Apex sensor. So Sean, before we log off, can you go over the special 4th of July deal that you have going on for us?
Yep. So going on here till the 5th, July 5th here. So, and currently right now you can pick up a size number 1 pediatric sensor for $3,495, and the adult for the adult size 2 for $3,995, and you get an additional 5% off on top of that when you use the Nifty Thrifty code as well.
I love it. Okay, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but are you going to put some fireworks and maybe some sparklers or something in the box when you send it to them for 4th of July, or is there laws against that?
Yeah, there might be some laws against that. I don't want the liability. Someone opens up and then some appendages might be coming off. So that probably not good for business.
Okay, all right. So guys, I just want to let you know that you're not going to get fireworks with it, but hopefully the savings that you get.
Yeah, you can go buy some fireworks at Walmart.
You can go get your own fireworks there. Awesome. Sean, thank you so much for jumping on, guys. I'll tag Sean in this stream. DM him. He loves it. He loves when people reach out. And of course, you can also call his team as well. We got to make sure the team works too, guys. Even though Sean is happy to take all the calls, but there are team members there that love to talk to you guys as well. So Sean, thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.